right, Shalom Yasharala. Before we get started, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone, the teacher and rule well. Peace and salutations to the full elect. So, we're back with another video, another lesson. And the title of this one's going to be called The Truth is the Straight Gate, the World is the Broadway. Which I should have said that, but I'll fix it. But the truth is the straight gate, and the world is the Broadway. All right, and this comes from the verse, the scripture. We can go read it. Matter of fact, Matthew 7:13. All right, and it reads, "The narrow and wide gates." It says, "Enter ye in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat." So I read verse 14. "Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it." So the broad way is the way that leads to destruction, which you can say that the broad way is the world. Being out in the world, just doing worldly things. Like, how our people are, they just do whatever with no care in the world, no repercussions. But it says the straight gate is narrow. But the straight gate, but because straight is the gate, Salakia, and narrow is the way which leads on to life. So the straight gate is the narrow, which leads us to life. And this truth leads you to life. It teaches you how to conduct yourselves in a biblical manner. How to be, out among others. How to conduct yourself when you by yourself and when you're around brothers, or when you're just out in the world, period, around other people who don't know. But the broad way, that's being out in the world, leads you to, that's going to lead you to death, ultimately. That it leads nowhere to life. You partying, you smoking, drinking all day, getting up, go to work, which is not wrong with that. But we just live in a repeated cycle of life. You're in a rat race. You're not really getting fulfillment out of anything, but being in the truth, you get fulfillment out of it. Because, you being in the truth, you learn something different every day. And give me 1 second. Salakia, distractions. But like I was saying, the straight gate is, the truth is the straight gate, leads you to life. It teaches you how to conduct yourselves in a orderly manner, But being in the world, that was the broad way that leads us to destruction. That leads you to death. Let's look at, man, I don't think I ever looked that up. That word destruction. All right.
Strong's G 684. Apoleia.
Apoleia. It says destroying, utter destruction of vessels, of perishing, a ruin, destruction. It says of money, the destruction which consists, they say, which consists of eternal misery in hell. Right? It says ruin or loss, perdition, perish, pernicious ways. You know what pernicious means? Look it up if you don't. Pernicious, from the Merriam-Webster, highly damaging or destructive, often in a way that is not easily seen or noticed. All right. It also says wicked. So you can destroy yourself. You can literally destroy yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually by going down the broad way. But if you go down the straight gate, the narrow way, which leads to life, you can fix yourself, which is being in this truth, And it says, verse 14, "Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few," all right, only a few is gonna, and few there be that find it, and the few is gonna be the elect of the nation of Israel, That's the only ones who are going to find that straight gate. The rest of because 2/3 are going to die, as we know. They're going to be killed off, but they'll come back. And they'll be reborn in the kingdom. But the elect, there's gonna be that's the few that find that straight gate. Lord willing, we are part of that number. And let's actually get 2 Ezra 7, because this is where it kind of came from. This is 2 Ezra 7:6. Says, there is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall. Like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, only and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. So only one can go at a time, man. That's that narrow. So the narrow, it's not gonna be easy. It's easy being in the world. That's why it's the broad way. That's why it leads you to destruction, because it's easy. Now they people go through things in daily life, but being in the street, you go through things not on a consistent basis, but you're gonna feel it. Maybe from small to great. On a small level to a big level, you're gonna go through certain trials and tribulations, and it's all a test. The Lord is testing us, and He's purifying us to get those impurities out of us. So when the time of all hell breaking loose comes, Jacob's trouble, we already know how to conduct ourselves. We'll know how to properly move in a world that's in chaos. But when those people who are walking that Broadway, they're gonna be SOL. SOL. So let's get Luke. So don't walk try not to walk. We should strive for the straight gate. That's what we should strive for. Let's actually read this in NLT if we can. It says, the NLT version says, Matthew 7:13, you can enter God's kingdom, which His name is Yahweh, only through the narrow gate. It says the highway to hell is broad, and its gate is wide for many who choose that way. But the gateway to life is very narrow, and the road is difficult, and only a few ever find it. So the road of the narrow is very, very difficult, but it leads to life. So would you rather walk the narrow road, although it's difficult, but it leads you to something great? Or would you rather walk down the easy road, the broad way, where everybody else is going, and you're going to be destroyed? It's going to destroy you physically, mentally, and spiritually. Let's get at Luke 21. So we should all strive to walk down the straight gate, because being in the world, really nothing comes of that. And we were all in the world at one point, but we know the Lord can use certain men, and He can get rid of you. That's that fear that we have to have. It says, Luke 21:34, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, so that day come upon you unawares. And that's what we see. It's New Year's Eve, right? The so-called New Year coming in. These people are about to go out and party, get drunk, have a big festival. I don't know if they're gonna be down. I don't know if people. Salakia for that, but I don't even know if people are gonna be. I heard a lot of events got canceled because a lot of threats has been going on, has been rumored to be going around. But I read this again. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts, which is your minds, be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. It says, watch ye therefore and pray always, that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. So we want to, watch and pray always. We want to walk down that straight gate, and it's not easy. Like we read, it's not easy. It's not an easy road. But that Broadway, that's the easiest road you can walk down. But that road is gonna lead you to destruction. That road is gonna lead you to death ultimately. Hey, that road is gonna lead you to the chip. The straight gate, that's gonna lead you to protection. The Lord covering you in a time of trouble. Right? Let's get one more. I ain't gonna make this too long. Romans 12:2. There's the book of Romans chapter 12. I start at verse 1. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Heavenly Father. So we got to be transformed. Your mind has to be set on striving to walk down that narrow road, although it's hard and difficult, because a narrow road leads to the kingdom. That's what a narrow road leads to. It's gonna be difficult though. It ain't gonna be easy. You're gonna go through, hell, trials and tribulations. You're gonna go through affliction. You're gonna go, things. It's gonna be a lot of ups and downs in this walk, but it's all to prepare you. It's all to what's the word? I said it earlier. It's all to get those impurities out of you, for you to be refurbished, refined. Yeah, that's the goal. That's the word. It's all to refine you, to make you gold, silver, bronze, whatever, precious stones to the Lord. So this is it's not really a bad thing. It's good to go through things, because if not, then you should question, right? You should be looking at, if everything is going smoothly while you're in this truth, there's a problem, and you should question yourself. That's just self-examination, because you shouldn't want everything to go be smooth and be good. No, you should be going through something, But I just want to bring that out real quick. A quick and straight to the point. The truth is the straight gate. The world is the Broadway. So strive to enter at the straight gate. And cut out all the noise, cut out all the distractions, and prepare yourself, prepare ourselves. Starting with myself, But Lord willing, you got something out of it. Lord, it was edifying. We don't give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, you got something out of it. Lord willing, back with another video. Till then, I'm going to say, Shalom.